Jays trying to take firm control of this World Series, looking for their first title in 32 years. Dodgers trying to get it back to LA, tied at 1. Off we go with a fastball strike.
That is going to be the key to tonight for both pitchers. If you
0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that was left over the plate, poked to the left field corner. Lucas is there. Had a lot of the play with that, but got away with it. Hooks it down the line. He went down to get a splitter and popped it into the corner for extra bases. Freddie Freeman with a 2-out double.
Well, this is what he does, and I said he can wait as long as he can. He reaches and hooks one, knowing pretty much that splitter was coming. Fouled off the 2 fastballs. This wasn't a bad pitch. This is just really good hitting and abbreviated swing. You can see like he almost golfed it.
15 years in the league. I also want to say 15 years in the big leagues, career 300 hitter doing that. Whatever the situation calls for. Up the middle, base hit center field, and the Dodgers with 2 out in the first inning get on the board. A double from Freeman, a single from Smith, and it's 1-0. Quickly off of the deck after they got beaten down in game 1.
Good piece of hitting, slider away, and you go with it right up the middle. 2 quick outs and then a battled at bat by Freddie Freeman, just like that.
Well, you know, Freddie felt bad about his base running error in yesterday's game. Down with a splitter that fell off of the table. Dodgers with a little 2-out burst in the game's first run. But in 6 starts since then, a 1.78 postseason ERA. Left a fastball middle, and it was pounded. Springer turns the corner. Throw from Hernandez. Not in time. Leadoff double. Boy, a 2-strike pitch that was on a tee for Springer.
They got 2-strike hits yesterday. They got 2-strike walks that got on base. They're an amazing offense, and they had a record amount of foul balls yesterday, so getting the pitch count up.
She says Nathan Lucas comes up to the plate, tying run in scoring position, flexes one, shadow center, they're at it again. First and third, nobody out. They just don't let up.
They don't. They're confident. They play great at home. We've documented this all the way throughout. You've got to make, that wasn't a horrible pitch as far as, I don't even know how he got a hit on it, but you've got to make great pitches.
Another 2-2. Curve gets him swinging. Just the 4th strikeout of the playoffs of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Well, that beautifully timed curveball does bring in the double play on the ground.
To first and caught by Freeman on the fly. Both runners back to the bag. 2 out and a chance for Yamamoto to get out of this unscathed.
Great job shooting the ball to that big hole, but
there it goes. It's a curve that fits in for strike 3. And Varsho, like a house by the side of the road, watches it. And the Jays watch a scoring opportunity in this first inning slip through their fingertips. Over the country has been tuned into the games on TV up here. Freddie Clement pops the first pitch that he sees. Straight up, straight down. Freddie Freeman dropped it out. Wow. Oh my goodness! What in the world happened? Leadoff man on.
I'm telling you, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. The pitcher can catch that ball instead of a first baseman running in full speed from about 120 feet away and trying to put on the brakes. You tell me a pitcher can't catch a pop fly just because not supposed to happen. That makes no sense. But I'm wondering why they gave him a hit.
Strike three called on Barger. Fastball in there at the knees.
Yamamoto's fastball stays low and looks like to the hitter it's going to go lower, but it doesn't. It holds its line, and it's an illusion. That's why he's so tough to hit against. And then you couple that with the fact that he throws a splitter off that same height.
Shot to short. Betts down to get it. To his feet into first in time. Mookie Betts, what a transformation from right field to short. And one of the best in the game defensively. Helps his buddy over at first. Have this be one that he can move on from. That little misplay to begin the inning. Kids need you. George Springer drilled by a first pitch fastball from Yamamoto. Been a painful last week or so for George Springer, who last weekend in Seattle got drilled on the knee by a fastball. Now he gets hit up by the hand.
Wrist. Yeah, but at least the deflection blow would be better than a direct, like just flat on the wrist. I think that helps out. Not that you ever want to get hit, but the off the forearm, off the wrist type.
Drilled down the left field line towards the corner and off the wall. Hernandez plays the carom, guns into second to hold him to a single. First and third for the Blue Jays with one out.
He's just too good, and he's too locked in. And after that first at bat, he was like, okay, you showed me the kitchen sink, but what you hadn't showed me is a fastball in, and I'm going to pull my hands in and hit a frozen rope. Matter of fact, they hit it too hard because he ended up at first base.
Karam right to Kike Hernandez.
He's shaking his head, but that was a good pitch. To right center on the ground for a hit.
Where he tried to go the first time. He was just caught by Freeman over there. Sends a high drive to center field that is plenty deep enough to tie up game two. Here comes George Springer. It's 1-1. Alejandro Kirk gets it done. The Blue Jays have been leaning on Yamamoto from the start, and they finally break through.
Well, it was a painful run that Springer scored, but a one that tied the game up after getting hit by the pitch.
Easy one for Freddie Freeman, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the third, but they tied it up on a set fly from Kirk. His 2-2. Got him with a slot with a splitter.
This one was nasty. I told you normally you don't want him down and in, but that had such downward action. It didn't get pulled. And when you pull a splitter, it has the opposite spin that you want.
The 1-2. Right back there to strike him out. Back-to-back Ks to open the fifth.
And I said the height of the fastball is going to be the most important part of tonight between two pitchers. Probably a ball close, though, and then you see a pitch in that same area. Maybe that would have been one of those. Who knows?
Tommy Edman hooks one in the air to right field. Barger's going back with room. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman, who's not given up a base runner since the first. On the hands, foul ground. Clement and Kirk. Ernie Clement to get Ohtani.
Now it's 1-1, and you got to be on your game every pitch.
Betts pops it up. Guerrero's over. He has room. Stumbling to his backside to finish off another 1-2-3 inning. Boy, have you ever seen somebody throw his gum with such attitude as Kevin Gausman does? Feeling himself. Tied up in game two. Well, this is their guy. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. grounds one up the middle, ricochets to second. Tommy Edman from short center field throws him out. I don't know if that got a piece of Yamamoto or at least kicked off of the mound. Not a simple play. One gone in the sixth.
Looks like it got all mine. To have 6 different pitches, you've got to be in rhythm and athletic.
A curve gets him to wave and miss. Yoshinobu Yamamoto with his 5th strikeout of the game against this deadly Toronto offense.
Yeah, watch what you got to get the fastball right, and then you're going to see the curveball pop out of his hand. Well, watch what timing you need to have. You got to be real quick on the fastball, but then watch when the fastball hits to where the curveball is at the same time. That makes a hitter impossible to stay back.
Here's his 1-1. Channel center. Betts is there. 3 up, 3 down again. That's 11 in a row retired by Yamamoto. Your turn, Kevin Gosman. Back after word from your local Fox station. The 3-2. High drive deep to left field. It's Smith with a big swing into the second deck. He's given the Dodgers the lead in the 7th. His first extra base hit of the postseason couldn't have come at a better time for LA.
And one of the first pitch location mistakes for Gosman. You cannot miss middle in, short arms, compact wing, loves that pitch inside, and he leaked his fastball for the first time in the wrong area. Ball's supposed to be away. See how it leaks in and just almost to the belt inside. Lit up when he hit it, and he knew it.
Normally stoic Dodger catcher. Any bit of fire and emotion you've got here.
Max Muncy doesn't usually expand too often, but seeing slow, and then fastball might get him to do it.
Fastball lifted in the air, deep left field. Lucas going back, opposite field bomb. Max Muncy with a second solo shot of the inning. Dodgers riding the long ball to the lead in game 2.
That pitch needed to be up, and it was down. And even though he was late, he's strong enough. The ball to all parts of the park. Watch where this pitch is. That pitch is that belt high. It needs to be up higher to get that above the barrel of the bat, and he goes the other way.
2 home runs from the Dodgers in the 7th inning, ending the longest postseason start from Kevin Gosman. He had not given up a base runner since the first. He gets a well-deserved hand. But right now, the story, the Dodgers trying to get this series back to LA, tied up, trying to defend. His bullpen takes over. Louis Varland to Kike Hernandez sends the first pitch in the air to right center. Barger is on, and it takes just 1 pitch for Varland to finish off the inning. Couple home runs for the Dodgers, though. Max Muncy has hit more of them than anybody in Dodger history in the postseason. And Will Smith, who grew up dreaming of being the next Big Papi, doing his thing in October, and I'm sure Papi's proud. The Dodgers have the lead in game 2. Ohtani breaks his bat on a base hit to right. Back-to-back singles for Pages and Ohtani. Throw behind Pages, who almost got back-picked there by Barger.
Barger's got a cannon. If they got to know that. But it looks like he got back. I mean, this guy, 98 miles an hour, he can throw a ball.
Close.
And he got back. Worth a challenge.
He might have kept his spot in the lineup by a half-inch right there. 94-mile-per-hour throw there. American League. Gone through 1 top pitching staff after another to get here. Betts takes the walk to bases. Top 5 payroll, too. It's not like they're a cheap spending team. So, yeah. In the dirt. Kicks away. Here comes Pages. He'll score standing up. Wild pitch on the first one that Hoffman throws. And it's 4-1 LA.
Thought there for a minute might have hit him.
Yeah.
I think it did. Doesn't matter, but he would get first base if they reviewed it.
Infield in. 1-0 home. Jeff Hoffman faced the Dodgers back in August at Dodger Stadium. Faced 7 hitters. Walked 5 of them. This is a guy, if the Jays are going to win this series, and they're going to put him out intentionally here, so he gets first base one way or another. Back to game 6. Sub-2 ERA. Bouncing ball is short. Couldn't get him out of the inning. There's one over the first, not in time, and a run comes to the back door. Ohtani in to score as Will Smith is safe at first. Jimenez could have come home to get a runner.
I'm not so sure that was the wisest decision. When you're down 3, you got to be absolutely sure you can turn this. This is a long underhand toss, and that's just too long. The play would have been to come home for sure, but if he had a soft and an easier toss, watch how long this underhand toss is, and that's just not enough time for a
0-2 to the plate. Runner takes off from first. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Dodgers get 2 against the pen in the 8th, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto has retired 14 in a row. Could he be headed for yet another complete game? But if you give them their structure and their schedule, fouled into the glove, strike 3. They say, look, you give me that, I'm good, you can push me. Here's his 1-2. Strikes out Springer with a fastball. That thing blazing to the top of the zone. Yamamoto's 7th.
4-seamer rising to the top. Again, all 4 quadrants have been thrown to tonight with 5 and 6 different pitches. So
living up to it. A little smile on his face. The guy hardly sweats. His 1-2 to Lucas. There's a fastball and he's to get him looking. He strikes out the side in the 8th. What a performance. Yoshinobu Yamamoto take a bow in game 2. The Dodgers 5, the Jays 1. LA's 3 outs away from tying this series up. Curve off the end of the bat. Freeman to first, 1 away in the 9th.
To me, it stands out more than the guys you just mentioned when it was more commonplace.
Kirk sends a line drive to center field. Justin Dean is there. 2 gone in the 9th. Well, I've mentioned it several times. It would have been almost a decade since anybody had pitched a complete game in the postseason. Yamamoto out away from doing it back-to-back starts. Standing out like a beautiful sore thumb. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, game 2 of the World Series against the Blue Jays, has thrown a complete game, retiring the final 20 that he faces. 9 strikeouts, no walks. Simply dazzling.
I told you this is going to be my favorite game that we do in this series, just based on the 2 pitchers and really based on that guy. Man, did he get it done.
And he got these Dodgers into a tied series, 1-1 after the Blue Jays leveled the Dodgers in the first game with 11 runs. Offense looking like an unstoppable force. Their match tonight in Yamamoto. It's a 3-1 in the postseason. The first guy to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason, one of them in the World Series since Tom Glavine in 1992. The first Dodger to do it since Orel Hershiser and his MVP 1988.